carried on with the Sea Fury until 1955. Non-navalised Furies, meanwhile, saw service with the air arms of Iraq and Pakistan, amongst others. Until the land-based Fury and navalised Sea Fury appeared in 1944-45. The Hurricane's maximum speed was some 340 miles an hour. The Sea Fury FB-11, however, was capable of a maximum of 460, but that really was towards the end of piston engine fighter development. Then it was on to the jets. This one from the Royal Navy Historic Flight, actually civilian registered and owned by Naval Aviation Limited, the operating arm of the Fly Navy Heritage Trust, otherwise known as Navy Wings, the charity that supports the operation of the Royal Navy Historic Flights aircraft, the Sea Furies and Swordfish. Also, the Sea Vixen, which is currently hopefully on the road back to flying condition. That can be seen in the static park and has a number of associate organisations, other operators who, as it were, bring their historic naval aircraft to the party. We've got several of those here, the likes of the Gazelle Squadron display team, David Bremner with his Bristol Scout, Kevin Crumplin with his Tiger Moth and others. They enable the staging of very impressive displays of naval heritage aeroplanes around the UK. It is, as I said, a charity. They are very reliant on public support. Navy Week display flying at Yeovilton. He started on the Sea Harrier. He moved on to the various types of the Royal Navy historic flight. Seahawk, which isn't flying at the moment, of course, the Sea Fury, Swordfish, Chipmunk. He's flown the Seafire, the Harvard. He's flown the Vark Harrier, the experimental two-seat Harrier that did so much to help develop the flight control laws for the new Lockheed Martin F-35B. When it made a rare appearance here, one of the most versatile men on the circuit. But now to the fast jets and the Royal Air Force the Eurofighter Typhoon ATR-4, announced today as Flight Lieutenant Jim from number 29 Squadron at RAF Coningsby. The thunder of the Typhoon's two Eurojet EJ200 afterburning turbofan engines, very apparent during the early part of this display, as indeed it is now, as Jim runs in for a low, high-speed pass. Accelerating there to something in the region of 600 knots. This, of course, very much at the heart of modern-day Royal Air Force combat air power.
I'll do a red arrow. 29 Squadron, the unit to which Jim and his aircraft belong, is the operator
operational conversion unit for the Typhoon force. That's stationed at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire alongside numbers 3 and 11 squadrons on the operational side, and number 41 Squadron, which acts as the operational evaluation unit. Then there are 3 more numbers 1, 2 and 6 squadrons, frontline Typhoon units at RAF Lossiemouth on the Moray Firth, and of course 1435 Flight stationed at Mount Pleasant in the Falkland Islands. But now, by contrast, the Typhoon from the left at the slow, and when he reaches the center point, at the forefront. Once the Tornado is retired next year, the Typhoon, and when it reaches operational capability, the F-35B Lightning II, absolutely at the cutting edge of RAF combat air power. About to break into the circuit, the Typhoon FGR-4. I expect to see the undercarriage being lowered off that, and Jim bringing the aircraft straight in on final approach. The first of many fast jets on the bill today, the next of which is the next but one item in the shape of the Hellenic Air Force F-16C from demo team Zeus. Later on we've got the Czech Air Force Gripen, the Royal Danish Air Force F-16, the Royal Canadian Air Force CF-188 or CF-18 Hornet, the French Navy Rafales, the Belgian Air Component F-16. But of course, interspersed with them, more helicopters, more historic aircraft, more aerobatics, an exceptionally varied programme, and an exceptional display from Flight Lieutenant Jim Peterson on the Royal Air Force Typhoon.